everybody. So this is one of those completely unusual things that I was most excited to come to Georgia for. These are called the Georgia Guideposts. We're going to walk around them first and then I will read them to you. So each one of these posts has a saying that is made to make humanity better in 8 different languages. We'll get to those languages in a minute, but it's English, Spanish, Russian, Farsi, goes on. But I'll show you in a minute. I just want to show you how phenomenal this is. That slat has to do with the astrological movement of the sun. It is really cold, by the way. It is 27 degrees, I think the lady at the gas station told me. But I still wanted to come out here, so I did. But it is huge. It's beautiful. It's completely carved out of granite. And the person who paid for it to be carved, well, apparently it was a group of Americans who paid for it to be carved. But the person who wrote it, who set it up, who organized it, is anonymous, completely anonymous. And now it is owned by the town. But what's cool is both of those slats have to do with the astrological movement of the stars and the sun. And then there's 2 holes on each side of that center pole that have the same thing. And then you can see all the writing. And then here's a diagram that explains it all. And then there's a plaque on the other side. I'm going to put that on camera for you too. And then I'm going to go read it to you in English, obviously. But I just thought this was cool. I had heard about it on the internet. Oh, maybe sometime within 2018 I heard about it. But I thought I would drive all the way out here to check it out, and I think I'm almost to South Carolina. So it's the Georgia Guidepost. I guess we'll look at this while I read it. The story of the Georgia Guidestones began in June 1979 when a stranger identified as Mr. Christian, later R.C. Christian, visited Joe H. Fendley, Sr., president of Alberton Granite Finishing Company, Incorporated, and indicated that he represented a group of loyal Americans living outside the state of Georgia who wanted to build a monument focused on the theme of conservation. Mr. Christian, who had assumed this pseudonym because he was a Christian named Wyatt C. Wait, it's his name, but he was not named. All right, well, I'll finish reading it. Wyatt C. Martin, president of the Granite City Bank, as intermediary, to hold funds in escrow for the project, explaining that the Guidestone Group, which wished to remain anonymous forever, had selected Georgia because of its excellent granite, mild climate, and the heritage it's not mild, of his great-grandmother as a native Georgian. Christian agreed to Martin's request to locate the monument in Albert County if there were a suitable remote site for it, which they found, on a hillside that is the highest point in Albert County. I hope I'm saying that right. On the farm of Mildred and Wayne Molexon, north of Albert on Highway 77. Finley's company carved the 6-part monument from pyramid blue granite, the Georgia capstone measuring 19 1/4 feet in height at the highest peak, the stones group measuring 17 1/3 feet in width at its diameter is 65. The overall weight is 951 cubic feet. 951 cubic feet of granite used is 746,000 pounds. A ground marker west of the Guidestone provides additional data and covers a buried time capsule. Each of the 4 sides of the capstone features a statement of cautionary guidance to humankind, translated into Babylon conform, Classic Greek, I'm going to butcher these, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphics, to let these be guidestones to reason, and Russian in English, and the guidelines specify the following. I'm going to go read it off of the Guidestones because it actually is prettier over there. But this is gorgeous. Look at that. And look at the sun behind it. Man, I am not used to this cold weather. Not anymore at all. Okay, so in English it says maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duty. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. That's it in English. I'm not sure what language that is because it doesn't label the language unless it labels it in the language, and that's not something I'm familiar with. But I did take pictures too, so I can put those on the internet. But this is what's so amazing, is there's the guidepost and then there's the astrological part, which is just phenomenal. And they really are, they're huge. And it is solid granite. But we're gonna go to the time capsule because that's also makes it even more curious. Wait till you see that. Okay. So here's the view around this little town from it. But then under here is a time capsule. When I was in grade school, we buried a time capsule too, but this is phenomenal. So as you can see at the top, it's labeled north, and then it says the Georgia Guidestones Center Cluster erected March 22nd, 1980. Babylonian conforms, classical Greek, Egyptian hieroglyphics, and Sanskrit. I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry, guys. Let this be the Guidestones to an age of reason. And then over here, it says the astronomic features. A channel through the stones indicates celestial poles. Horizontal slots indicate the annual travel of the sun. Sunbeam through the capstone marks noontime throughout the year. The author is R.C. Christian, which is a pseudonym. Sponsors a small... Sorry, my hair's blowing in my mouth. The sponsors a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. Time capsule. This is what is weird. Placed 6 feet below this spot on blank to be opened on blank. And that's the west side of the time capsule. Then you go to the east side, and it says the physical data. 19 feet plus high. The weight, I already read this to you. The major stones. The center stone is 16 feet 4 inches height. 20,957 pounds. Capstone is 9 feet 8 inches long. Support stone, the base. Weight, support stone. I'm trying to get my feet out of it, granite. And then down here, it says the Guidestone languages. So the one facing northeast is English and Spanish. The one facing southeast is Swahili and Hindi. The one facing northwest is Russian and Chinese. And the one facing southwest is Arabic and Hebrew. And then it says, additional information available at the Alberton Granite Museum and Exhibit, College Avenue, Albert, Georgia. And that's the South Plaque. But this is the whole site. And it has remained completely anonymous since it was put up. But I thought people would like to see that. Very curious situation. There's horses out there. And it's beautiful, and it is still on these people's property. And from what I understand from the lady in town, the people who allowed it to be built here in 1970 still own this property. it's still a family property. There you go. That's a better center view. You can't find peace until you find all the pieces. Good night, everybody. Bye.